आपके बाल गिरेंगे. And I thought, all right, so big deal is going to come back. So the first thing I did was, I asked my son to shave my hair off, I mean. So he happily did it. My two little grandsons were watching. It was quite an experience. I felt a very sort of mixed emotions. I know I had tears in my eyes, and I, at the same time, was laughing because it was funny to see myself with no hair. Well, I had just gone for my regular checkup. I was very particular about getting my mammogram done. If you tick all the boxes about who gets cancer and who doesn't, in case of breast cancer particularly, you can just tick all the boxes. I was an exercise person, always ate the right food, got married at the right time, had children at the right time, and I used to go for my health checkups very regularly. So that day I came back with this report from the ultrasound person, and the lady actually called me in and said, people just open the report and normally don't follow up, but I would recommend that you see a doctor. So that got me a bit worried, and when I came home I opened the report, and it said that it is suspected to be a malignant tumor. Life and death is in God's hand. Let me try and live the best life. I didn't have grief. I don't think I was feeling sorry for myself at any point. No. It was just to accept the fact that I have this disease, and my knowledge of breast cancer was quite minimal. It just felt that if you have cancer, you die, And that was the shock and the fright that my life will be short, and how am I going to, finish all these, tie up the loose ends. I realized that if it's an aggressive and invasive cancer and it's going to come back, I got to fight this, And that's how I got busy. I started taking everything very seriously. Of course, there were terribly bad days also, because your body gets quite fatigued and tired. What is important and what can be the first diagnosis is a self-examination. And ideally, the self-examination should be done just after your periods, when your breast is, it's not so sort of tough and in pain, or that, women's breast, they already have lumps and bumps, so it is a bit confusing. So that time I normally advise girls to think about a clock. And a clock with, you start from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and go right back to midnight. And with your 2 fingers or 3 fingers, touch your body, imagine your breast like a clock, and just touch all the hours to see if it has had any changes from the last month. For cancer particularly, because cancer spreads, and if it's a malignant tumor, it's going to go from one organ to another. That is why I feel early diagnosis is so important for them to get through it. But we've got a patriarchal society, number one, and culturally we are sort of constrained by being shy to talk about our breast or any part of our bodies. Rightfully so, I was there myself. Like for the first time when I was invited to go and speak to a very large audience, I said, I don't want to be, photographed or televised, or please don't put me on air. So I didn't want myself talking about my breast to the general public. And then I thought, what am I doing? This is just, it's not sending the right message if you're going to be shy about it, because there's just one part of your body. It could be your arm, your leg, anywhere, your eye. So that change of mindset about not talking and being shy is a problem, especially in our rural society where the patriarch of the family takes over and he's in charge. He may not want his daughter or daughter-in-law to talk about it or go for treatment. There are other things, factors, which I think could be responsible for causing so much of breast cancer recently in the last few years, that one has seen younger people getting it. And that could be the food that we eat and the water that we drink out of plastic bottles. I think one should be a little aware of what we're eating and drinking. Having my own experience taught me what was very important besides getting treated medically was emotional support. I just was so charged with getting people help me walk through this whole journey. I realized that I have to now give back to all those confused, new diagnosed patients who don't know where to go, what to do, and then the first reaction they get is, yes, I'm going to die tomorrow. So then I talk to them, and I believe it makes a big difference. People who I've never met before have rung me up, and I've got 2-3 friends of mine who this year had breast cancer, and I'm there available for them. I was there for the surgery, and whenever they have any problems, like you get a lot of low days, and those low days are the time that you have to be there for them.